charging is probably the biggest hurdle that EVs need to overcome before they can truly surpass gas vehicles. Charging simply needs to be easier and more convenient than filling up your gas tank. But that doesn't mean it's impossible to live with a vehicle that has a battery instead of a gas tank. This is EV Miss, Episode 2, Charging. So if you watched last week's video, I talked about range and left it off with these questions about charging, which I'm assuming a lot of people have if they're considering an EV. How does charging actually work, and do I need to go one of those public chargers and spend multiple hours there charging up my vehicle? And yes, that's an option, but definitely not most convenient for most people. For most EV owners, the easiest way to charge is either at work or at home. So instead of going to a gas station once a week, you can just charge when you get to work or when you return to your house, and that's way easier in my opinion than going to a gas station every week or so. Instead of being an extra errand, you can just make it part of your daily routine and make it easy. But Alex, what if I want to take a road trip? How am I going to do that? Well, as I spoke about in my last video, if you are one that likes to go on road trips, you're probably going to have an EV with greater range, something around 250 miles or more. This means you'll be able to drive about 3 hours before stopping, and I know me personally, I do not like driving more than 3 hours without stopping and at least getting out to stretch my legs or go to the bathroom. And if you are driving those long distances and like to go on road trips, you have a couple options. If you have a Tesla, they have a supercharger network that stretches across the United States with over 12,000 chargers. If you don't have that luxury or don't own a Tesla, there's also a growing infrastructure of chargers throughout the United States. PlugShare is an excellent website. I encourage you to check it out where you can see all of these chargers throughout the United States and the world. So if you do go on road trips, it's important that you plan your trip beforehand, more so than if you were just driving a gas vehicle. Chargers are not as common as gas stations, so you're going to have to plan your route a little bit more, but that doesn't mean you can't go on road trips. And unfortunately, road tripping in an EV is still slower than a gas vehicle, but it is improving. For example, version 3 of Tesla's superchargers can now charge at over 1,000 miles per hour. This means you can add 75 miles of range in just 5 minutes. So like I said, by the time you get out and stretch your legs, maybe grab some food, your car is going to be charged up and ready to go to the next spot. If you want to learn more about your different charging options, I actually did a video explaining the different levels of charging as well as the different plugs that are required for charging. So I'd encourage you to check that video out. I'll have it linked up here as well as down in the description. So right now, getting an EV charger installed at home is definitely the best option. Just plug your car in when you get home, and it'll be charged up and ready to go when you take it out again. Charge times obviously vary by car, but unless you're using a standard 110-volt outlet, then charging won't take more than 8 hours. But the fact of the matter is, most people will not use that entire battery every single day. And even if you do, you can just plug it in while you're sleeping, and it'll be ready to go in the morning. Obviously, EV charging needs to get faster. There is no doubt about that. But a common thing people overlook is when that charging is taking place. For most people, it's at home while they're sleeping or at their work location when they're working their job. But not everyone has that luxury. Some people live in apartments and don't have easy access to a charging station. But as that infrastructure improves and charging gets faster, driving electric will be the easiest way to own a car. So if you own an EV, I want to hear about your charging situation. Do you have a home charger? Do you get away with just using a public charger that might be close to your house? Or do you have charging at work? I want to hear what your experience has been like charging your electric vehicle. So drop a comment down below and let me know. As always, if you like this video, definitely hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss next week's video. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next week.